Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday and it's the afternoon and it's going to be craft day. My husband and I have been talking about making our own candles just for ourselves and just to see if we can, I don't know, save money. But I have a lot of melts that have leftover wax and stuff like that, and I hate to see it go to waste. So you can actually double boil on a double boiler on a stovetop to melt your wax. There's many different ways you can do it. I went to Michael's and I found a wax machine, a melter, a candle maker, and it was $99. I was like, oh, and then I had a 25% off coupon, so that brought it down to like $75. So I thought, no, I'll just do it on my oven or my stovetop. Then I went to Hobby Lobby next door and they had one on clearance for $49. And I thought, you know what? Tracy's like, just get it because it measures it out for you exactly the way you want it. And it'll be kind of cool. So I'm going to show it to you. So this is what it looks like. And this is where you put, there's molds. It came with molds and wax and stuff like that. And this is where you put your wax and your seasonings and all that other stuff in, your scents. And then it takes like 30 minutes. And so this is what I got. Obviously, I'm not sponsored, blah, 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 because, you know, I'm not. So anyway, we're going to try this out. And it takes like 30 minutes to melt a full hopper, but I'll take you through the steps. And then we'll go to a part 2 when we're at that section, or I'll add on to this one. So with this one, I've decided to use their wax and kind of my very first couple candles. I'm going to use their stuff. And so I'm going to do first a cinnamon candle, which is super easy. And this one tells you to put all the scents and everything in. If you want color dye, it came with color dye packs. I'm not going to do that. It came with wicks. However, I'm using my own jar, and so their wicks don't have a base. And so I do have wicks that I purchased. Did come with wax, and this here is paraffin wax for candles. I have beeswax from another project that I'm going to use later on. So we're going to get this started, and hang on. Okay, so it came with these 3 sticks here, and these are to help you with your wicks and also to stir. So the wicks I bought, oh, they're long, but you're supposed to have them kind of long. So this is the wick that I got, all right? And they say you can hot glue it down to the bottom so it's center, so I'm gonna see, or you can use a little bit of Scotch tape and stick it to the bottom, so I might do that. Hang on. Actually, I found some tacky glue that I have, and so I'm gonna put the tacky glue at the bottom of this, and it's just gonna, hopefully it's not stuck in there. Oh, I may have to cut a hole in it. Hang on. All right, so it's been a while since I've used this glue, so should have been more prepared. Put my glue down here. Ow. All right, finally got the tacky glue going. All right, so I'm just gonna stick it on the bottom of this. This is a reused jar, candle jar that I had that I just cleaned out. I just stuck it on the bottom, and then what they have you do is you take these little sticks and you put it to each side to keep your wick straight up and down, or centered where you want it. I'll move this over just a little bit. So that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to tie it to one of the sticks here and do that. So hang on, I gotta work on that. Okay, so what I did is I just wrapped it around the metal stick that they provide. And you can use skewers, you can use whatever you can do to keep it straight. But now I have the wick in there centered as best as I can and straight up and down. So then what I'm gonna do is put that underneath here, and that's just gonna sit there for a while. The next step is I have the hopper here, and I'm going to fill it up to the max level, and I'll show you what it looks like. And it says do not fill above max level. So this is probably may take 2 sessions. This is just a fun project. I don't expect anything major out of it, but hang on. So here's my max level right here. And so then I'm going to pour some cinnamon in here and some cinnamon scents. So hang on. Now I have cinnamon essential oil, okay? And so I'm just doing what it tells me to. Although one of the recipes I said if you put essential oil in, it could dissipate the scent. I don't know. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. So I have 30 drops of cinnamon in there. And then I want the kind of look of granular cinnamon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, oops, that's a lot of cinnamon. Probably, I don't know, that's probably what, a tablespoon? Just kind of put it in there. There we go. And the machine says to make sure, excuse me, the wrong way to hang on here. The machine says to make sure it's plugged in, obviously it is. Close the hopper, which I am. And then you turn it on all the way up high. And then you let it sit for about 5 minutes. You let it sit for about 5 minutes and then you stir it. So I'll come back to this. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, so we're going to open this back up. It's melting, so hang on. So this is what it looks like. So then you're supposed to come in here and stir the stuff around counter or clockwise, which I'm doing. You can see where it's melting. And this is paraffin wax. So this is a medium heat. The beeswax is a higher heat, so I turned it down a little bit. So just make sure you get those little nodules back in there. And so we're just going to let it stir, do its thing. So now, I'm going to stop. This is what it's looking like. So you can definitely smell the cinnamon. So we're going to put the lid back on and we're going to let it sit for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then we're going to check on it, and if the wax is all melted, then we're going to go ahead and start pouring it into here. So in the jar, I also put some cinnamon sticks down at the bottom. That's actually more for decor, just to look kind of cool. We'll see how it looks. So I will come back to you in 30 minutes and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so here we are. We're about 30 minutes later, and it's completely full, and it's all melted. So I'll show you what that looks like. There we go. So remember, I added some more because it was melting down. It was about halfway down, so I'll melt. You don't want to go over that max level though. All right, so let's put this lid back down. Now there's a little lever here that I'm supposed to push right here that opens it up. So let's see what happens. I can definitely smell the cinnamon. So this is pretty darn cool. Let's see how much wax I got left in here. It is pouring and doing its thing. And we now got about 3/4 left, about a quarter left, excuse me. It goes pretty fast. So this may take a couple of different melts to fill up this candle all the way, because I do want it to be filled up all the way. So there we go. And I still have quite a bit of cinnamon in there, so I'm going to put another layer of wax. So I'm going to close this back up. Now you can do all this stuff with double broilers on the stovetop. This is really nice and convenient because I don't have to do that. So I'm going to add another layer. And I'm just going to let this sit there and melt. Now, will it be quicker if I did it the other way? Yeah, but this is kind of fun. So we're going to let this happen, and so we're going to let this sit. And when this sits, I took those cinnamon sticks out. Then I'm going to, when this sets up a little bit, I'm going to put the cinnamon sticks around the side, I decided. So we're going to let it do its thing, and we'll come back. Okay, guys, so I let the second level fill, and I put in some of the, they come with these little packets, and this is a yellow one, but I put red in there, you know, because it's cinnamon. My husband's like, nah, this is brown. I don't really like the color. So I thought, you know, I'll throw the red in there. So let's pull the red. Got it open. There we go. It's not dripping, so maybe it stuck up. Hang on just a second here. There we go. There we go. What happened is the wax had just kind of dried in there when I put in the last session. So here is the red. Now this is all the same scent. This is cinnamon. This gives the idea of cinnamon because it's red. So obviously that's what the stores do. So we're letting this fill up all the way. I'm going to fill it all the way up to just the edge here. And that's almost got all of it right now. I actually might be able to, I don't know. It's getting right to the edge, and I'm going to stop it for now. See if I can get any more. It's almost done. Alright, so I'm going to stop it. Alright, so now I'm going to pull it out, because now we need to let it set. Alright, we want to let it set. Make sure the tip of that wick is not in there, so when I go to pull it up, because I'm going to have to cut off some of the wick, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So I've got the cinnamon sticks in there. They're just kind of haphazardly in there. You can kind of see them on the edge. I don't know if I like, I mean, you can't really see them, so I'm not sure if that worked out to the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to cover the edges of them up so you can't see them through the edge yet. And then we need to let this candle sit, I think, for like 24 hours. Come on. There we go. Backfill there. So we're going to let it sit for a while. Let me see. Hang on. I'm going to stop. Now it's real red on the top, but it's showing not so red on the bottom. And I don't know if the beeswax would make that different. But anyway, hang on just a second. Okay, so it says to allow the candle to rest and cool for 1 to 2 hours. So I'll come back in 1 to 2 hours and we'll take a look at it. And they're pretty set in there now, these side ones. Oh, come on. Don't ruin it, Brenda. Put it backfill there. And I'll leave it alone. I'm going to turn this off. Now the maintenance on this thing, now since I put the cinnamon in there, I mean I can kind of see it in the bottom. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Hang on. So this is what it looks like after the wax is done. So I am going to figure out how to clean this up because the maintenance on this says select a heat restriction level, use cardboard or newspaper, blah blah blah. That's getting started. Hang on, I'm in the wrong section. So basically, to clean this out, make sure the wax dripping valve is closed, find an old glass jar, disposable, remove the residual wax in the hopper, turn the temperature controls to low setting, let the residue wax turn to liquid, open the valve, let it out. Do not pour the liquid wax down the drain. Obviously, there may be some drippage. After cleaning, unplug the wick and let it cool naturally. Do not use any abrasive cleaners. Some dripping may occur. Clean the candle molds after each use if needed. So basically, just clean this out. I may run a little bit of water through there. I don't know. I'll have to see. So we'll come back in an hour or so and see how this candle sets up. We'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and here are the candles. Well, here is after about 2 hours because I went and had dinner. And so this is our wick, which I'm going to pull up. And obviously this wick is way too long. And you don't want the wick to be super long from what I've read. And it's not quite done setting yet, so I'm just going to clip it just above. And it's kind of concaved in a little bit. And this little stick up here, this is one of the cinnamon sticks, which I don't think I'll do that again. But it smells like cinnamon. And it's still warm, but it's drying. Now I had some leftover melts, you know, when you have those melts that go in the warmers, and they're just bits and pieces. So I took those and I melted those up. And hang on, I made myself, and I just melted them in there too. So that's another thing you could do with it. Get myself a wick. Oh, you don't want it too long. But this are those melts that I had left over, and I just put them in there, let it warm up, melted it down, got a wick, and put it in there. So that's actually a really awesome idea. And I'm not obviously getting rid of these wicks. I'm going to save these because I can use them in other candles. Find a ways to do it. So this is a cinnamon candle, like I said. The bottom is just the wax, and I had cinnamon in it, cinnamon granules. And then the top is the same thing, however, or I put in a red dye that was in there. So we're going to let it sit a little bit. But, you know, yeah, it cost me a little bit to get started up. But now that I have this, and you could do this without buying the warmer. You could do this on your stovetop if you want. Any of the old candles you've had, you can melt down that extra wax and just put them in the jars and put in your own scent. So I'm really excited about this. I've got one candle done. This candle here is actually probably going to be a Christmas present, because I got a bunch of these little jars, and I just go find all my waxes and put them in there. So anyway, we made candles today. Everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you later.